welcome to another Sunday edition. TPV is in the house. Of course, I'm your host, Dale, and we are in for one hell of a show today. I'm telling you, my guest today, I was just talking on backstage, and he's one of those people that you meet in your lifetime, and you don't really realize how much you miss somebody until you can physically talk to them again. And my guest today is just that. But before I bring him out here, we've got a lot to talk about with him, what he's been up to since the last time he was been on the show, and of course where he is going and what he is out there doing. And I'm telling you, this guy is so talented. But in the meantime, he is also one of those shining lights. We talk about people being of light and being of mind and to be spread love and to be very compassionate, and that's exactly who my guest is today. But before I bring him out here, I just got to say one thing. Like, I got to say a big shout out to our sponsor this month, Paraware, Jason and Amber. They are the bee's knees of when you need your Paraware. You talk to Jason and Amber. You can find their QR code on the corner of the screen. It's going to be there all throughout the show. Scan it with your phone. Go through their inventory of Paraware. Order it if you want to be a part of the cool squad or the weirdo group, whatever you want to call it. They have all kinds of amazing pairwear. So a big shout out to our sponsor this month, Pairwear. They will, like I said, scan the QR code, show these guys some love right there in Michigan, local people, and you can catch them at a lot of the events. So, like I said, just check them out. They are on Facebook. They are on, you can go right to their website. You can find out where they're going to be. So, yes, check these guys out. Thank you once again to Jason and Amber for hooking us up this month, for being a great sponsor. So, as I was telling about my guest today, so you see the name of the show called the StarChild. Now, a lot of people are going like, "What the hell's a StarChild?" Well, it is a phrase. It's what we call people that have such an amazing gifts. They're also referred to star seeds, or people that they have a divine mission on this plane, on this earth. And I'll tell you, they're very unique. And I mean, for people who are into extraterrestrials and the UFO in the galactic world, these people, they are, a lot of them are healers, guides, spiritual people. And I mean, just being in the room with them, you can have the most crappiest day in the world, and if a star child or a star seed or somebody that we call the light walks in the room, the whole room changes, the vibration changes. And a lot of people don't understand, but I'll tell you, when Mike and I met, uh our guest today, it was a few years ago. I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago now. We were doing an event up in Oxford, Michigan, uh, and Mark was there with some friends and stuff. And Michael John ended up talking to him, and then he introduced me, and I was just. I couldn't say very much at first because, anybody who's meeting me in person for the first time, I'm a very shy person. But I mean, my guest's energy was so overwhelming that I was in just complete awe and shock of who he was. And then we had the chance to bring him on to the Paranormal Voice shortly after that. I think it was the same year we met him. And I tell you, he captivated everybody who saw the first show. If you haven't seen it, go through our YouTube channel. All of our shows are listed there. You'll be able to find them. But I'm so glad that I've actually had the opportunity to bring him back at this time, because you know what? The world is under a lot of pressure right now. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are looking for guidance. And that's what my guest here today who's going to be. We're going to talk a lot about who he is, how he discovered his gifts, and an amazing and his spirituality and his divine mission that has brought him to into our lives. And like I said, I'm a firm believer that a lot of people don't come into our lives by accident. They come in for a reason. And ever since I met this guy, he has been a true supporter and a very good friend to be able to talk to when I'm going through stuff. So right now, let's bring him out here, the one and only Mr. Mark Herzog. Sorry. Yeah,
Yes.
just
You're okay.
I lose my tongue every once in a while. I think it's like my brain's moving a mile an hour, but then it's like, okay, I'll do what I have to do.
I know that feeling. It's when your mind is going faster than your mouth, and you're just like, I can't keep up. So you start fumbling.
I call that the Michael John syndrome, where it's like my mind's going a million miles an hour, but my mouth don't move that fast, unfortunately. So, Mark, how you doing, brother? It is so good to see you. It is so good to have you back on the Paranormal Voice. It's been such a long time, and I know we've been in contact off and on over the years. And every time I see a message or I see something from you, I always send you a message to say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm a terrible friend. I don't message you as much as I love to." But you are always on my mind because, like I said, you ever since we met, I mean, it hasn't been that long, but at the same time, it's one of those. Wow, I don't know what my life was like before I met you because it's just our friendship has just grown so much. It's like you've been
Oh yeah,
around me forever.
we've had a lot of shows together here and there. We talk too. Like there's a lot of times where I send like a lot of voice memos through like Messenger or something just to talk and give you like a rundown on what's going on. And it's nice to hear from you too whenever you get to message me and talk. And I know like we've all been pretty busy. We've been all kind of like split and kind of like doing our own things. But we're all doing the same kind of thing, but just in a different journey and a different path. And
Right.
we all bump into each other from time to time, get to party and have some fun.
Absolutely, yeah. I really enjoyed our talk that we had at the UFO Contact Convention last year.
Me too.
Because we were actually sharing the same space. I mean, we were actually on the same floor together, and so yeah, we really got to catch up last year. It was amazing. Uh, so for the folks that have not had the opportunity to see the first show you were on, let's just dial it back just a little bit before we
Sure.
bring up to what you're doing nowadays and all the amazing things that you're doing, or your divine work that you've been working on. So, I mean, when I was telling people we introduce you as a star seed, um, could you please explain it from your perspective and how you come to get to uh, I don't know. I guess like how you get to a point where you know you're different from everybody else, but at the same time it's frustrating. And we've talked about this
Mhm.
because when you're on a different level than most people and have talented gifts and brightness about themselves, it gets frustrating at times because people just don't we feel misunderstood a lot and
Yeah.
people are quick to judge people in our field, in our world, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, let's just dial it back a little bit and talk about the beginnings and what it was like for you growing up and trying to come into realizing who you were and your gifts and what your divine mission was.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so when I first met you guys, I was at a stage where I was still trying to figure things out because I just had like this very crazy experience, let's just say. It wasn't like a bad or a negative or anything like that, and it wasn't like 100 like crazy positive either. I mean, even though the messages were positive, it's hard to process when you've been taken from ET, and I started feeling like my body was just kind of going through something. I was at my job shortly before I met you guys. It was like a few months, or maybe not a few months. I think it was like a half a year when I met you when that
Right.
happened.
Right.
But I was still processing because I went through a first regression. It was my first and only regression that I had during that time, and I was new to this whole thing. I didn't understand like what I was experiencing. Um, but I met you two, and you guys were introducing me to a lot more people that you knew that would be capable of helping me through this. You know, through going through all of this, because you, Mike, and I were all talking, and when I first met you two that day, like we talked for like over an hour at your booth, because like I think you guys were like, wow, he really knows a lot because
Yeah.
I knew so like that's funny because it's like I don't know a lot of like certain topics. I just know a little bit, but
Right.
with a vast amount of topics.
Right.
So I have like a little knowledge dipped into a lot of different things because growing up, I was very challenging to be around as a kid because I always asked why. Why does this happen to be like this? Why is it like this? Why does God say this? Why does it's like I'm always challenging everything because I want to know all the details.
Right.
So, growing up, it was troubling and hard. I was bullied a lot when I was little. So, growing up, I didn't really have that many friends to kind of mingle with. I was more focused on just myself. But obviously, when you go through your own traumas and your inner demons and all the other stuff when you're growing up, we all kind of mold ourselves to protect ourselves from the people that are harming us. So we
Right.
sometimes don't realize we kind of pick up behavior patterns and we start picking up certain things that we do that we are thinking we're protecting ourselves when quite honestly we're just being a big jerk at times.
Right.
And we don't know. But then you start learning spirituality, you can start learning a little bit more about how you heal, how you can understand all of these triggers and how to handle all of the traumas. And that's kind of where I was at when I first met you guys. So there was a lot that was happening during that time. But now, now fast forward,
Yeah.
it's I've healed through a lot. Obviously we're not going to heal through everything because we
Right.
that's a thing we go through our whole lives. But it's been fun to kind of like look back and see how much I've grown just in the last 2 years. And I want to say we met 3 years ago. I want to say I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
I believe it was like 3 years
It
ago
was
for
like
sure. Because I
close.
believe it was our second year that we were actually doing the Paranormal Voice. So this is like year 4 for us because we started the
Okay.
show in 2021. We did one event in 2021, but then 2022, more and more people like our friends, Exie and Candace, which is the event that we met you guys at,
Yeah.
the
In
Body,
in
Mind, and Soul
Redford
event, and
or Oxford. Yeah.
yeah, and so yeah. But like I said, I mean, even watching you grow um, through your social media, and every time we met at every event after that, like every time we met, it was like you were changed. You were changed again. And I mean, we could
Mhm.
feel the growth that you went through. Um, you touched a little bit about something that I went through a lot too in school, which was being bullied because I was always the different kid because I was always shy because I was, I always felt like people didn't understand
Because
like
they didn't.
who I was because it was like I wasn't I always knew I wasn't like other kids. Like when me and Michael John met in grade 5, he was the only friend that I ever had. I mean, I never
Mhm.
had a big group of friends. I would have people I would hang around with, but at the same time, it wasn't like I never felt like I was still one of them. It was like I still felt like an outsider no matter what I did, and it was really, and I mean, since being in the paranormal field, I've really grown in to discover who I am, and that I'm not some weird kid on the playground anymore. I am somebody that, you know, yeah, I might think differently. I might have different thoughts, but at the same time, I met a lot of like-minded people like you and Deb and RJ and Mary Bassett. We'll be talking a little bit about her because she's had a major role in your life in helping you to grow into this amazing person and to kind of get you down your divine mission and your path and where you're going today.
Yeah,
Uh,
she did do a big part. You guys introduced me to her. I remember the first episode that I was on with you guys. That was the first time when she joined to come say hi and to see like what it's about. As soon as she joined, and you're like, "Oh, Mary Bassett's in here," and I'm like, "Hi!" Even though I'm like inside, I'm like, "Oh no, what do I say?" and,
uh,
and then I met her in person shortly. I think it was like a couple weeks after our episode,
yeah,
and we kind of hit it off pretty well, and we ended up meeting up, and I started doing regressions with her, and that
right,
was my second regression that I've ever done. And then it was like one of those things where it's like she kind of did my regression very differently than the first one,
right,
and it was different and it was quick. It was almost like everything was just kind of, it was different because the first person that I went through, he talked very slow. He was like letting me kind of use my imagination in a sense.
right,
And with Mary, what I like is that she challenges. She does this thing where she kind of moves a little quicker than what
right,
my the other friend did. And what I like about her work is, if anybody has done a regression, anybody, it's definitely really difficult to, because your ego really wants to jump in. It wants to jump in. It wants to tell you you're making things up. It wants to tell you like all of these things. And it's so hard to focus on what's coming through and stop asking why you're seeing this, why you're being told this. You have to like really focus on just allowing what is coming through to just come through.
right,
Whatever
yeah,
you want to say, just allow yourself to say. Whatever you're being shown in your mind, the imagery, all of that, just allow it to flow and stop thinking, "Oh, am I going to say something wrong?" Or don't
right,
even like stop. Just allow yourself. Just it's a meditation in a sense, just to relax, just take it slow and just go along with it. And Mary has really helped me not do that for me. Like I am my own critic. I am my own judge. So when I'm under, I'm constantly challenging myself like, is this real? Is it? She does it where she moves in a speed where I can't do that to myself, and I'm kind of being forced to just be focused in the moment, which is so much easier to handle.
right,
And what I also like is once the session is done, we can kind of go over what was being said and done and kind of connect the dots a little bit. So when I have so many months to kind of process my experience, then I can have a little bit more of a visual of what's happening, what's going on, why I was given this information.
right,
So she has done a very big. She's been a huge factor in my transition. I've I've had a lot of time to adjust with the experiences that I've had. I got to kind of bring in all of this information and be able to use it with my everyday life.
right,
And now I see things in a lot more bigger pictures, like going back to trauma, going back to being bullied, going back to going through all of that stuff. It's like it's like an ick kind of feel, and
Right.
it's hard to go through those moments, especially when you don't have people to turn to or talk to, those that don't understand you,
Right.
because we're different, we're built different.
Right.
And growing up and learning through all of this stuff, we start to learn that, us, star child, star children, the rainbow children, however you want to partake in, seeing them as, we are all coming here because we're trying to shake things up to change the system, the old system that is not no longer working for those that are coming. So we have to learn to kind of get that, trying to get the speed in our step, and trying to move into a direction where everybody collectively is helping one another and growing with one another by learning and teaching, so we can all expand and move forward in an evolution. This is like it's like a new stage of life, the new earth, the
Yeah.
split, like Dolores Cannon, whatever you want to say it. I don't look at it as a physical split. I look at it as more of like a subconscious kind of thing, where consciousness, in the physical world, we're all growing and learning as we all have. But now that this new energy is kind of being placed in our faces here, now we get to choose. Do we want to play this game, or do we want to keep going with the old system?
Right.
Do we want to learn and grow and start, you know, upgrading ourselves, or do we want to keep playing in the old system, that where we kind of feel a little bit more comfortable because we kind of understand it more? Thing is, we all tell ourselves a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that we sometimes don't understand, that we're kind of feeding ourselves, like, not garbage in a sense, I'm not going
Right.
to say it that way, but you're kind of feeding something, like the monster inside your ego, that is kind of holding you back, protecting you, molding yourself from not exceeding. Instead of getting yourself out of the cocoon and flying away, you're putting yourself in the cocoon.
Right.
So in that, there's a lot of transformation, there's a lot of change, there's a lot of development, there's a lot happening in your cocoon. So sometimes we need to go through a lot of bad stuff in order for us to learn, grow, and understand what we went through, so we can, come out of that cocoon as a beautiful butterfly. And that's kind of like where I was for a long time. And it's been a wild road, honestly, but it's just how we're all growing and learning together, and that's what makes it fun. Why all of, like, this podcast, even though that I might teach someone something here, maybe, hopefully, then maybe next week you'll have a guest and I get to watch and learn something from them. And that is how we all grow and learn, is to teach, speak your truth, and say it, and let others listen, and then you listen while others speak their truth.
Right. And I mean, and just touching a little bit about regressions, the amazing part is, like, Mary did a regression on me because me and Michael John experienced something together, and we just could not understand it. Uh, but also, too, with a regression, uh, it really helps to unlock the brain, because when things happen to us traumatically, or like stuff happens to us and we didn't even know it happened to us, your brain is so complexed. Like, there's so, like, it's the mind is such an amazing instrument that it can lock stuff away, where, yeah, you can remember a lot of stuff. You can remember what you did last week. You can remember whatever. But at the same time, when things happen to us, our brains will lock it away. It doesn't forget, but and I find through regression, it really helps unlock it, because you can get yourself in such a deep meditative state. But like you said, at the same time, your brain is kind of fighting it, because it, it's 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 almost like when I did mine at first, it was like really holding back, because I was almost ashamed to say it, because I was afraid, oh, what was people? But here I am with Mary Bassett, who is truly amazing. Um, you feel so comfortable with her that, yeah, okay, I can let go because I know she's not going to do anything wrong. And this is where, if you're going to go through a regression with somebody, make sure you're comfortable with that person, you know, because I
Yes,
think that has a lot to how that session's gonna go. And
totally.
and in your brain will unlock so much more when you are comfortable and allowing to share. And yeah, she does a truly amazing job.
Oh
For
yeah.
anybody out there, if you're looking to get a regression, yes, look her up on Facebook, Mama Mary, or you can find her Mary Bassett. She is truly amazing. She works with MUFON, doing regressions for people who have had experiences and PTSD, and people who suffer trauma. You can get a regression done for just about anything. So shout out to Mama Mary if she's watching the show now, later, or whatever. But yeah, she is truly an amazing person. She's truly good at what she does, and I always highly recommend her that to if that's something you want to do, and a lot of people don't want to do it, but that's okay too. It's just a tool that people have been able to be given to unlock your memories. And like I said, it helps us grow because we can understand. We have time to process and really
Yes.
understand what it is that we've been through, and kind of like why things happen the way they do to people that are not of. I hate the word they use, normal. We're not normal. We're different, but that's okay. We're good. We're good with being different. But yeah, but like I said, with you, like since we've made this amazing connection, just like sometimes out of the blue, like you said, you like to send voice messages, and a lot of them is a message because you can pick up on something that myself, or Michael Johns go through. You pick it up, and you'll just send us the nicest vibe message, and it's just like, wow, this is so it's good that you can understand and also bring a change into people, into understanding. And like I've learned a lot just talking to you about myself and how to unlock certain areas of my path. And because and this is the amazing, and this is your divine mission, is to kind of not really do the work for people, but help them open
Do
up
their own
and
work.
to kind of be a little bit of a guide. And also at times you're the guy to kick them in the ass every once in a while when they need that boost, because sometimes we just slow down too much and we're just like, okay, need another boost, and here comes Mark, he boots you in the ass, and you're like, oh, there it is, I can see the path
Yeah.
again, let's go. um
I'm a pattern recognition person. And with that said, that's the reason, like, all of the trauma that we both experience growing up, all of that molding that we do, how we try to protect ourselves from all of that, and that cocooning that I was mentioning, we do that so often going through living this type of a life because we are not seen very well. We are misunderstood. A lot of people don't understand us because we are just built different due to the understanding of the trauma and understanding the healing process through it, because that's what we do. We're so empathetic that we start off as empaths. We start off by understanding other people's emotions, but we are never going to really truly understand others' emotions until we start understanding ours. And unfortunately, we sometimes go through this mirror where we start reflecting. And this is what I always say this: the way people treat you is a reflection of themselves. So, and that goes with you. So, how you treat others is your reflection. How you speak to others, how you think about others, how you do for others. This is your reflection. And usually within that reflection, looking at it as a mirror perspective,
Right.
that kind of gives you an idea of what kind of things you kind of need working on. So, for example, talking to somebody, and let's say that person says something really gets you angry and you're triggered. You're not going to let the person know at first. I mean, you're mad. You're like, wow, why did that person say that to me? As they're still talking, that trigger is just an indication that there's something inside. There's a reason why this person is in front of you in the moment, because it's an experience that's there for you to learn and grow from. So that trigger response is obviously something poking at you, saying, hey, this is why this person's here to help you learn something. Just don't get all mad. Just look in the trigger. Maybe the trigger response that you're having is all you need. And then after you're done with the conversation, you walk away, you get to just dissect why you got mad. What was it that was really driving you nuts? It can be as simple as they said, like, I looked fat or something, as an example. And then you can go home and you're like, wow, they really said something that made me feel like I was fat. It's not that they were saying it to upset you. They were saying something because they felt like they had to say it.
Right.
It's up to you to take that experience how you want. We can play victim mode and get angry and mad and point fingers and be and reflect, because you're reflecting the emotion that's up right now and how you're feeling. Or you can just understand it, let go of the negativity, and just be like, okay, I get it. This person said this. Maybe they were reflecting, or maybe I was just taking it a little too hard, because that's how I feel in myself.
Right.
And that's why you're reflecting and taking it out. So sometimes getting yourself out of the equation, trying to understand and get it before you start responding or reacting, because once you say or react in that manner, you can't take it back.
Right.
So you sometimes, as a person, trying to better yourself and understand all of the trauma and experiences that you're going through in the moment, it's nice to be able to understand those triggers and understand that trauma so you can heal, grow, and become a better human for not just yourself, but for everybody around you that you want to be there for.
Right.
So growing up, we kind of get shots taken all the time. We're kind of a punching bag for a lot of people because we are a conduit in order to help others grow in their own awakening. We are in a frequency that's going to affect people in their own manner. The reflection goes a very deep manner, in a sense of, when you are reflecting, you are also reflecting spiritually. You're also reflecting in your mind with your thoughts, all of the things that are hidden, the things that you don't say out loud, the things that people don't see. Those reflections also come through too. And someone that can see things very deeply will notice and will see that.
Yeah.
Like for me, with pattern recognition, I grow from stuff like that. But how I learn to see a pattern from others, I watch body language. I listen to the tone of their voice. I see how they are reacting towards what I speak and say. And once I'm reading a person while talking to them in a more deeper manner than what they may think. I am reading everything. I'm trying to see the vibe and listen to the vibe. And usually through that, I can sometimes pinpoint certain traumas. I can pinpoint, oh, this person does probably suffer from either A through C, and I have similarities towards that because they're kind of doing things that I kind of do too.
Right.
When I feel uncomfortable, I put my arms over, or I might play with my hands a little bit, or I might do something that you can tell that it's maybe like an uncomfortability in some manner. But when I see others doing it, I allow my own reflection within and I use that to my advantage by sitting with my own emotions and feelings, respecting it, acknowledging it, validating it. And while I'm doing that, I'm able to validate and help others go through theirs, because now I have an open space for them to be, to do, and to say whatever it is that they need. And once they leave, I just keep that open space for them. And once they leave, I send them their love. I send them a respect. I send them that energy in order, even if it was in a bad conversation, and even if I was triggered, I'm going to do that. Reason being is because they gave me an experience that clearly I needed during that moment.
Right.
So pattern recognitions, I man, if anybody is still in the stages of growing and healing and understanding themselves, the work, it's phenomenal and it's worth it. Once you start learning and growing and understanding your triggers and healing through a lot of the stuff that you've gone through, the coding, like the matrix coding in a sense, or how you want to say the pattern recognitions, you start seeing things more. You start reading the script a little bit more. And once your reality is kind of set a little bit differently, you have like a really good advantage to others when it comes to just focusing on you, doing your own thing, learning and growing. And before you know it, and you look back, you're like, holy cow, a lot of stuff has happened over the last couple of years. Where's everything been? And just
Yeah,
like you said,
you feel like you really
yeah.
shed your skin when you grow because
Oh, yeah.
you're coming into and to grow into yourself and to understand. I mean, we're all have a journey in life. We all have a purpose. We all have a meaning. Every single buddy that watches this show that just walks around Earth, we all have a meaning. We all have a purpose. We all were put here. And I know I love it when Dustin Perry says it best is that we're all energy living a human experience. And that's
Yes,
all we are. And
I agree.
it's truly amazing when you can just embrace who you truly are and not be ashamed of who you are.
Mm.
Now, I want to touch a little bit about you were on another podcast, Mystical Awakenings, where you were channeling through on the show live, and I was truly blown away by what I was witnessing. It was like something I've never seen before. Please, I want you to talk a little bit about it and what you were doing on the show. Like you were channeling extraterrestrials,
Yes.
and
So,
it's mind blowing. And I was like, wow, that is a gift I never knew Mark had, and it was exciting to watch. And at the same time, I was
I got to laugh
it's
in your
like
sleep.
watching a comet fly through the sky, and you're in awe because you've never seen one before. So let's talk about how you learned to channel, and you know what are some of the messages you get like when you are channeling. Is it about yourself? Is it about things that are going wrong? Are they sending us messages?
Oh, they're always sending us messages. Like, so when I was on your show for the first time, I remember specifically saying I have so many abilities, I just don't know which one's working. Because that's that going back to the beginning of this one. I was talking about how much I've grown. And looking back at the first episode, I was trying to learn and understand myself and being like, what are these abilities? What am I doing? Why is this information coming through? Like, I didn't know if it was like mediumship, speaking
Right.
to a spirit on the other side, because that's what I do that as well. Like I'm a spiritual medium. I do speak to spirits on the other side. I talked to my dad because my dad passed away like 3-4 years ago. I still talk to him. He comes through a lot. A lot of family that has passed has comes through very frequently, and I talk to them. Like there's times literally I'm like laying on a couch or laughing or sob crying or just having conversations with my relatives that are on the other side.
Right.
So when I started channeling, so that's these abilities started to get a little bit more heightened, and I started to understand what I was doing once I started doing a lot of work with Mary. So when I was under regressions with Mary, I started finding out that my subconscious, when I was when I was getting tapped into my subconscious would talk. And then in the middle of talking, my voice starts changing, and now things are a little different, and now I'm speaking like I am not my subconscious.
Right.
So Mary can kind of tell. She's like, okay, you have a ET coming through. Like there's ET coming through. And so we found out that I channel a reptilian being called Zeke.
Right.
Zeke is the being that took me through my experience. And supposedly I've been taken 7 times through my whole life so far, at least. And like I don't mind another one, but just gotta be careful on how. But it's I've been taken 7 times from what I've been learning through my regression work with Mary. I also learned that Zeke has worked through a lot of my other lives. So I guess my soul and his soul works very like kind of a lot in a lot of lives. And so he comes here and works with my soul. And I look at Zeke almost like he's like another spirit guide. I look at him as like a guide. He guides me. He helps me when I channel him and I'm getting information through. It's all love, and it's really good information. Like really good, solid information. And information that I get from my regressions, I use through my everyday life. So that's who I channel. I channel an ET being, and just recently I started learning how to channel my galactic council,
Okay.
and that's new. I just did it for the first time with Mary not long ago through my last regression. And so what I do is when I learn that other beings are coming through, I have to, like, obviously you re-listen to your session, you feel yourself, you feel your words, you listen to them. While I'm listening to my regressions that I've gone through, I'm getting downloads, I'm getting information. And before I know it, there's moments where I'm channeling that being again and it's starting to come through. And I'm just like, wow, what the heck, man? Like, this is crazy. And then he just comes through very, very clearly.
Right.
So we get to talk, he gives me a lot of information that really helps me,
Right.
and that's just who comes through. So usually now I have a really good like I usually just open myself. And like even now talking to him, like I can feel that he's like at the door, not walking in, but he's just there, like kind of like, hey, I'm ready if you want me to come through. If not, it's okay. You got this. Like I can feel it.
Yeah.
But when I speak about him or I call for him or any of that stuff, he will just come through. And when he comes through, it's almost like putting yourself in a regression. It's like you're putting yourself in your own regression. It's like a really deep meditated state, and I just fall through really fast. Now that I've worked so much with Mary over the last couple of years, I kind of have like a nick for it. Like it happens. It just comes through. It works, and it's like a lot of the information that comes through. I re-listen to my stuff and I'm just like, what the heck? Like I don't know anything about dark matter. Why am I talking about dark matter? You know what I mean? It's like it's really cool and very fascinating by all means.
But that is so amazing. So when you are speaking with him, are is he just more or less focused on you, or does he have messages for people who you may come in contact with? Like this.
Well, it's the intent. So he's in. So if you think about it, and I'm gonna make it short and sweet with this part. But if you think about the other side is different than this side. This is a physical hologram like reality. So we have a bunch of atoms all over the place that is allowing us to be able to have physical things around us that we can play around with in our physical bodies. So we are attached to this world, and this is what we're doing. The other side's different. We have linear time, they don't. they're living in a space where they can go backwards, forward in time. So if you think about it, they already know what this whole conversation is all about. So if I'm tapping into it, they already know what your intent is. They know what my intent is. The people that are listening, every single person that is behind listening to this in the very moment, or who is going to listen to it in the future, they already know all of this. So they
Right.
know what information that needs to come through. So if my intent and your intent, for example, we call him in, see what he says, he'll just say what needs to be said during this moment. And sometimes I don't even know what's going to be said, but when he says it, and then all of a sudden I re-listen to it and go back to like, what did he say? Because I don't have a lot of memory when I'm channeling, and I listen back and I'm just like, I guess that makes sense. And I'm just like, why would like that happen? Okay, that happened. I did say that. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, now that makes sense. So then it's one of those things where it's like, now that it's my first time listening to it, now it's getting integrated with my memory again. And then and it's happening like real time in the moment. And that's why I look back and I'm like, oh, I did say that. Why did I say that? And then it gets integrated. So he helps integrate the information that's being done because he knows I'm the last at the party kind of thing. So
uh,
it's cool. He just says what he needs to say.
that is so cool. But for those that want to witness this, and we're gonna have Mark back on the show later on again because I would love to get you to do a little bit of channeling and bring him
For
through.
sure.
So see what he might have to say to somebody who's going to be watching the show that day. So
Well,
we're
how
gonna
about this?
definitely gonna get you back and to do that. But if you want to see that episode, it's Mystical Awakens podcast. You can find them on their YouTube channel. Go back. It wasn't that long ago. I want to say it was like last month or something like that. I believe it was. It wasn't that long ago that you did that. But like I said, I watched that
Channeling for
episode
Seven
because,
Archer? I
but
think
it
it was a
was.
3 or 4-ish months ago. I
Oh,
think.
was it? Wow, that long
I
ago.
think.
Wow. So
You might be
see,
right. What's time?
But see, this is I don't see. This is what I'm trying to figure out. Why is it that I have no concept of time whatsoever? Like I
Because
remember some
we're
things like it
integrating.
was yesterday, but then it's like then when I really think about it, I was like, holy crap, that was like 25 years ago. Like but and I can't tell you what I ate yesterday though, but I can tell
I
you that
know.
certain aspects or certain things that have happened I'll remember them like they're yesterday. But like I said, of course, I mean, you being on Deb and RJ's show, two great, amazing people.
I love them.
They are the one of the founders of the UFO contact convention. Experiencers, they have the Mystical Awakening podcast, and also every Friday night they have the Voices of Contact show where they talk about experience cases and have people that have Mary, I believe you were a part of that episode, one of the episodes,
Yeah, I've been
where
on a couple
Mary will
times.
do a regression. She'll record it, and then the panel of expert or not experts, sorry, experiencers will give their partake on what the show, like what they believe that person has gone through, why they got the visit, and so it's truly amazing. If you are definitely into hearing more experiences, stories, tune in Friday nights 8 p.m. Mystical Awakening podcast over on their YouTube channel. Give the show a view. Give them all a holler. I'll tell you, Mary, RJ, Deb Cobble. I know Dana Stricker makes appearances on there. Reverend Michael Carter makes appearances on there. And Bill Konkolowski every once in a while makes appearances on there. But I'll tell you, if you're truly into hearing experiences, stories, that is the show to be watching for sure.
It
Uh,
is really cool. I love that show. They do a good job. Like just like you said, it's like we get to dissect, the regression and just give our own perspective. Not saying that our perspective is correct. It's
Right.
just a variable or just shedding light in certain areas that maybe the person that did the regression may have not thought about or seen, or maybe our experiences being able to, talk about it can maybe help them be like, oh wow, that they went through that too. Okay, and then you can get a little validation of like, what you're thinking about through your own regression. And I get validation too as an experiencer. I get to listen to these regressions and be like, oh wow, like they went through that too.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
For
and I
sure.
mean, this is what makes that show so unique is that it is a group of experiencers kind of helping to understand stuff that they've experienced, as well as allow that person who went through it to kind of make sense of what happened and why it happened and the purpose of it. And believe me, folks, being an experiencer is it's
Hard.
not what the movies want you to believe. You're not being probed. You're not, it's not a bunch of aliens that are trying to dissect us. They want to learn, like they know us, but they're very curious about certain people, certain races, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yes, give them a like. Like I said, follow them over every Friday at 8 p.m. Mystical Waking Vodcast, and Mystical Waking Vodcast is every Thursday at 7 or 8 p.m. I can't remember. Deb and RJ's show. You got to give these guys a love too because they're out there doing a lot of work.
Yeah,
But
they are.
but the whole purpose is why I brought you out here today is because out of true Mark character out of the blue. He's like, I was thinking of you. I've created something and I want to share it with you. And I was so happy. So I opened up my mailbox one day and boom, here is this amazing design. And you sent me the scripture for it. You
Yes.
uh you call it the Obsidian Phoenix protection spell.
Yes.
Uh So I'm going to give you the opportunity right now. Explain to the people what this symbol means, what it does, how you came up with it, and how people can use this symbol in their everyday life.
All right. So for the last 3.5-ish, 4 months, I really wanted to have a logo for myself. And I wanted to make a logo that represents me. So I'm an Aries, and I've always been a pyro, and I've always loved fire, and I've always loved phoenixes, and I love the representation of a phoenix. But it's funny because like a lot of people that I've made friends with over the last like 15, 20-ish years that are also very spiritual. I know a lot about crystals. I know a lot about lots of stuff, but like crystals and energy work is a really huge thing of me. Like I'm really good with energy. I know chakras really well. I work with a lot. So I was looking through one of my books that I have, which I have like a lot of spells and I do like a lot of things and write stuff down. And I was going through it, and I've always been told from a lot of friends, I am like a black obsidian. I like my energy is like black obsidian. A lot of people have always said that, and I was just like, I mean, I get it, but I think that there was a little bit more to it, because I really do. Um, what I do for me to represent a black obsidian is I cleanse people, but I stop their energy. I ground. And when someone, it could be the most nastiest person, the most horrible person that you can think of at this moment in your mind, can come up to me and say whatever, and you're not gonna phase me. You're not gonna scare me. You're not gonna intimidate me. You're not gonna get me upset. You might, but I'm not gonna show it. Triggers, learn later. But I stand strong, and I'm gonna defuse anything you're gonna send me. It's not gonna get to me. Like you're not gonna let me. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna win. Just have fun. say what you got to do what you got to say, that type of thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I always thought, I was like, okay, I need to think of something, a logo that kind of represents me. And I was like, what would you think a black obsidian phoenix would look like? So I started like trying to figure out something that might represent that. I wrote it down, trying like maybe some just ideas. But I really wanted to do something that represented me even more. I wanted to go deeper, and I wanted to do something that was unique, something that I don't really see many people do. So I started writing down more ideas, and I started trying to figure out what other things can I kind of do. So I I ended up putting black obsidian and a phoenix kind of together. Got a logo. I used runes. All four corners is north, south, east, and west. So I put the runes in, and I am always for protection. I teach people protection. I tell people protect, protect, protect. Always, no matter what you're gonna do, if you're gonna tap into anything spiritual, make sure you are protected. Know your protection spells. Know that the other side, those that are gonna be there to protect you. Know who to call. You have lots of spells. You have candle magic. You have oils. You have, you have sage and many other things you can burn during a ritual. You can make rituals. You can play. Just play. Be that inner child. Play with everything. Once you start learning what herbs represent, oils, different candles, the colors of the candles, you can put it all together. You can make things. And so I thought, and this is what I do. I love making things and just creating. So I figured, I was like, okay, let's put things together. So I decided to make a spell, a protection spell that I was able to make within my logo. So now I can give my logo to people. It could be a bumper sticker. It can be a regular sticker. It could just be a piece of paper. It could be whatever. As long as you have it, you can put it wherever you are in whatever space you're at. And I made a spell that you can use where I'm going to put with my logo, where you can sit and you'll have a protection spell at all times. So you can use it in your own space. And I dissected it as well as I could in order for you to use it how you want to use it. The protection spell is there. You don't have to use my protection spell. You can make your own protection spell and use the runes. You can use the phoenix. You can use parts of my spell. The spell is there. You can transform it and change it how you want. Use your heart. Use that inner child. Play. Learn. Do what feels right for you in that moment. What I'm doing is I'm just going to give a stage for you to use, and it's up to you to play and create how you want. Right. So I don't want to take away someone's creation, because that's the opposite of what I want. I want to help people create. Right. So I want to give them the tools to do their own creations. So I wanted to use make a logo that had a spell on it. So it's all for protection. And people that know me, I will, as long as you give me love, I'm going to give you love. As long as you respect me, I'm going to respect you. And I go above and beyond for people that I really care for, people that really need it, people that I know that I'm really called to, that I really feel like I really do need to do something for them. I will always protect people and teach people properly. I don't do for others. I give them the tools for them to do it for themselves. And I make sure that I hold their hand as long as they need in order to learn and grow the way that they need. So I don't want to give them give them a loaded gun and be like, go on and have fun and hurt yourself. I want to be able to give them that space to have protection and to do the work that they're just trying to do. So the logo is pretty cool. I'm really, really excited to be able to start using my logo on everything that I have. And now people can use my logo as well. If, like, for example, they come to my booth or whatever at the UFO Contact, hopefully I'll have some logos there. If not, you could always message me and I can send it to you. You could always just print it out yourself. All you need is just a little, have it on a paper. You can print it and you can use it no matter where you are. Even if you're in the car driving, taking like a little road trip, you can use a protection spell and just put it in your car. If you're going out on a hike and you want to just use a form of protection and make like a little bubble for yourself, you can just put the logo on or put it in your bag or put it in your pocket and just know that you're protected. And so it is. Once you say it, so it is. It's really exciting. I can't wait to actually just start, giving it to people and teaching them. And I have my spell.
Yeah.
I want to read it, but I want to be able to also give it to people so that they can kind of use mine and correspond and kind of like make their own thing with it.
Right.
And then later on down the road, when people come back to me and they get to tell me how they got to use my logo, they can then tell me how they were able to use it, how they were able to make their own spell or their own work or put their own type of touch into it. And that's what makes me excited because I get to see what others get to do and how they got to grow and how they got to use my logo for something to help them protect themselves while they got to play and learn and grow themselves in their own space.
That is truly amazing from the moment you sent it to me. And I mean, I love phoenixes as well. I mean, you can tell by our Paranormal Voice logo, it is a phoenix. The phoenix has so much representation in the world. It means so many things. Like, and most of all, the phoenix is always known for rebirth and regrowth and to just keep challenging and growing yourself because that's what the
Like
phoenix
transformation.
represents. So I am so excited. So, uh, Mark, I'm going to give you a minute or two. You plug whatever you want to plug, how people can get a hold of you, where you're going to be if people want to meet you in person, and and then we can wrap this up. And but I want you to promote yourself right now because I want people to get out and to get to know you like I've had the privilege of getting to know you for the last 3 years.
Thanks. Yeah, right now you guys can look me up on Facebook, Mark Herzog. Just look me up. My profile picture is a big astronaut guy, which I mean, I love space. Love space. So I had to put something space in it. Um, but you can find me on there. You can ask me whatever questions. Contact me anytime through my Facebook Messenger. You can also look me up on Telegram too. Same name. I'm on Telegram. I'm on there every day. So I will be more than happy to talk to anybody that reaches out. I will get to every single message, and I give every single person a lot of my time. um, Keep in mind, I love my voice messages. I love sending voice messages. I'm not a big texter, but please reach out and you can learn anything you want to know. I'm there. I love teaching. I love being there for people. That's my thing. And next time I'm on the show, make sure you start writing down some questions on what you want to ask Zeke once I start channeling. You can even ask your audience too. Like, hey, you guys got any questions to ask Zeke?
Yep.
Because how often do you get to ask a question to an ET?
Yeah,
So
no,
just
that is going to be truly amazing. Yeah, we are going to get that set up. I'm going to put a post out on the Paranormal Voice page. Anybody who has a question for Zeke, you can ask it live right on the show. Type it into the comments, and
yep.
we will make sure that Zeke hears your questions and answers them for you. So we will get that in the works. But Mark, I just want to say thank you so much. You are a true inspiration. You are a true light. You are a true soul. And yeah, everything about you is absolutely love and light. And it's been great. It's been amazing watching you grow from where you were 3 years ago talking to us at the Mind, Body, and Soul event to what you're doing now. I cannot be more excited to see where you're going to keep growing. And I know you're just scratching the surface of your abilities, and it's going to be quite an amazing ride. So yes, Mark will be at the UFO Contact Convention in Holt Lake, Michigan, coming up September 27th or 26th and 27th, I believe. Let me
I
check my
believe so.
calendar. Let me check my calendar real quick. September 26th and 27th, absolutely.
Friday,
Holton Lake,
Saturday.
Holton Lake, Michigan, UFO Contact Convention. Such an amazing speaker. Speakers are going to be represented. Mark's going to be there. He's going to be doing his thing. Just if you get an opportunity, sit down, talk with him, and I'll tell you, you will learn so much about yourself just talking to him in a session. So, Mark, I want to say thank you once again from the TPV Nation. Guys on the side, thank you so much for watching. Everybody, reach out to Mark, talk to him, learn more about his logo, his protection logo, and see how it will help you in your everyday life. I appreciate that. So, people, that's going to
Thanks.
do it for us right now. Thank you so much, Mark. We will meet up again, my friend, for sure. In the meantime and in between time, we will be back next week, Sunday at 8 p.m. Another exciting episode of TPV Nation coming your way. But, folks, just love each other. There's no need to be angry with each other. We all need love in this world. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you. In the meantime, happy hauntings.
Thank you.